Do we have a scoreboard operator for this game? Crystal, are you our scoreboard operator for this game? If so, please come and sit down.
We've got a whole bunch of numbers that are wrong. I checked in the CAPS meeting and they said there are no more changes. Now I'm looking at the change. If you give me the number change, I can the scoreboard operator, if that's not on you.
Everyone just chill for a minute. We're just sorting out some official stuff over here. Alrighty, looks like we're all sorted and we're going to get started. I'm Razorback and I'll be calling this game, at least for the beginning. We've got Ballarat's Rat Pack versus the South Sea Roller Derby Krakens. Corey picking up lead for Ballarat immediately. Tenacious T jamming for the Krakens, still stuck in the pack. Corey busting through, picking up 4 points. Kraken's jammer with Star in hand emerges from the front. Corey picking up another 4 points. Both jammers back in on a scoring pass. Great work by Beck there, just appearing from nowhere. Cycler doing a great job of recycling that Kraken's jammer all the way to the rear. Plenty of points on the board for the Rat Pack. All right, so that was 16 points for that first jam for the Rat Pack. Kraken's yet to score. Oh, I lie. Kraken's got 4. Freak Show Francis just absolutely skirting around that pack. Kraken's jammer emerging. 2 Rat Pack blockers heading to the penalty box. And the jam has been called. 3 points picked up by the Rat Pack on that pass. Calling this game immediately after the modified contact. This is much faster. Beautiful offensive jamming there by Corey off the line. With She-Wolf jamming for the Krakens. Corey picks up lead. She-Wolf not that far behind. Beautiful footwork there by Corey to pick up those points. Timeout. Timeout being requested by the Rat Pack. Little bit of track repair while we have this minute's break. Alrighty, and the timeout is over. Looks like we have got Tenacious T out there jamming for Krakens. Freak Show Francis for the Rat Pack. Lead picked up by Ballarat. Amazing footwork down the outside there by the Ballarat jammer. Alice doing a good job of making life difficult for Tenacious T up the front. And the Rat Pack getting their tripod back together. Some great solo blocking there by Fleabag, but now they're going to the penalty box. Freak Show Francis picking up another 4 points. Freak Show Francis passing through untouched. The Kraken's Jammer with star in hand. Nice hit there by Fleabag, knocking Freak Show Francis to the inside. And the jam is cold. Looks like Ellis was sent to the penalty box at the end of that one. So the Krakens will have the pack advantage for this jam. All right, the jam is on. Looks like we have got Cyclo jamming for the Rat Pack. And I can't read the name on the Kraken's Jammer's shirt. Lead picked up by the Rat Pack. We've had a star pass from the Krakens. That was a real quick jam. So the Kraken still have the pack advantage. Jam is on. Corey out with lead. She-Wolf is out of the pack. Eligible to score, but Corey picks up the 4 points, calls the jam off. Got an empty penalty box going into this one. Freak Show Francis picking up lead for the Rat Pack. The Kraken's Jammer not that far behind. Ooh. Alrighty, and we are back on after a little first aid incident, but everyone seems to be up and moving under their own power, so that's a good sign. Alrighty, and it is a power jam for the Rat Pack at the moment. Cyclo taking that, picking up lead. Four points picked up by the Rat Pack. Kraken's jammer is back on track. Four points picked up by the Rat Pack. And the Kraken's jammer has emerged from the pack. Jam is cold. Got Tenacious T out there jamming for the Krakens and Corey for the Rat Pack. We've got one blocker from each team sitting in the penalty box. So we'll have a little bit of Derby light. Looks like we've got an official review. Sorry, official timeout. Perfect timing. I'm going to hand over to Baggins and she's going to call the rest of this game for you.
All right, and a big thank you to Razor for her help calling the first section of this game while I checked into my hotel. So my name is Kilbo Baggins. I'll be taking care of the commentary for the last portion of the first half and for the rest of your game today. So as I take over with my dulcet tones, I can see that the Rat Pack is pulled ahead early with 67 to the Kraken's 5 with 18 minutes left in the first half. We are just going into an official timeout at the moment, so it gives me some time to get myself sorted as to where we are 10 minutes into the first half of this game. So we do have lots of guest skaters this weekend helping across all our teams. So if we do have a few mistakes with numbers and names, bear with me, but it is great to see so many skaters helping out teams across all of Statewide's rounds 2 and 3 to make sure that all our games can go ahead today. And that is the end of the official timeout now, as we have Freak Show Francis on the jam start line for Ballarat up against Fleabag for the Krakens. Both packs sink back off the line, but with some excellent footwork and a hop, Freak Show Francis has grabbed lead for the Rat Pack. An attempted run back there by Pins and Needles skating for Ballarat, unsuccessful as Fleabag fights at the front of the pack. Freak Show has come into the pack on a scoring pass, grabbed all 4 points and called off that jam. So it's a 4-0 jam there for Ballarat and the Rat Pack. And we now have Cyclo guesting for Ballarat, jamming up against She-Wolf for the Krakens. And again, some lovely work on the inside line there from Cyclo to grab lead for the Rat Pack. She-Wolf battling against a very strong set Ballarat tripod at the back with Beck and Mad Splatter. An attempted push to the inside, but She-Wolf has completed their initial pass. And Cyclo listening to their bench there and calling off the jam before She-Wolf could re-enter on a scoring pass. Another 4-0 jam for Ballarat. Just slowly pushing ahead that lead. So with 16 minutes left to go in the first half, we are sitting with the Rat Pack on 75 and Krakens on 5. As we have Tenacious T taking the track with Corey from Ballarat. Oh, and a bit of jammer on jammer action there. And a bit of a smirk from Corey as well. So Tenacious T did grab lead, but the jammers were released from the pack almost at the exact same time. A bit of jammer on jammer there just for fun. And Tenacious T had enough of that and called the jam. So double donuts, but really exciting jam. Short and sweet. So we have She-Wolf back for the Krakens up against Freak Show Francis for Ballarat. Freak Show using a big, big run up. And once again, really utilising some excellent footwork on the inside line, grabbing lead. She-Wolf has removed the star, looking for their pivot, as Freak Show re-enters the pack with a big hit. She-Wolf still battling as jammer for the Krakens on that first apex as Freak Show Francis is coming in for a second scoring pass. And a lovely whip off teammate Beck there by Freak Show. Do love a whip. Some great coverage of the lines there by the Ballarat blocking crew. They've done really well as Freak Show does another big entry, grabs 4 more points. Oh, and a bit of a jump on the apex there by Freak Show Francis, just showing off some fancy footwork for the crowd as She-Wolf has successfully navigated out of the pack and finished their initial pass. Star is back on, ready to re-enter that pack and try and score some points with the Krakens. And a beautifully timed call off there by Freak Show at the Ballarat bench. So that is a massive 18-point jam by Freak Show for Ballarat, bringing them to 93 and keeping Krakens on 5 points. And once again, same pairing, we have Corey from Ballarat up against Tenacious T with a big cheer from the South Sea supporters in the crowd. Jam is on. And Corey does some wonderful muscling through, grabbing lead. Bit of a stumble there by Tenacious T, but big smiles and straight back up, which we love to see. And really beautiful work there from Corey, really diving through the arms of the opposing defenders, opening up gaps. There has been a penalty called on one of the Ballarat blockers, and Tenacious T takes advantage to escape on their initial pass. Corey looking to their bench, seeing what the call is. Oh, beautiful footwork there by Corey, just ducking and weaving as Tenacious T comes through, trying to score some points. Just making it look easy there, cruising on through 4 more points. Another big hit. But we're getting up. We'd love to see it. Everyone's all right. That Ballarat defense is no joke. Bench is making Corey run it. Every jammer's favourite activity, 2-minute jams. And we have a successful star pass for the Krakens. Fleabag taking the star, but the jam has timed out. An absolute mammoth effort there by Corey, 24 points. That is a truly monster effort for any jammer. Well done. And that brings the Rat Pack to triple figures, 117 points. As we have Cyclo up with She-Wolf on the jam start line. Kraken's defense trying to sink back onto that jammer and does force the run back. While She-Wolf works on Ballarat defense at the front of the pack. A nice toe stop work there from Cyclo, sneaking through the middle of the pack there, grabbing another lead status for Ballarat. She-Wolf has successfully pushed the Ballarat defence to the front of the pack, trying to get through, and successfully completes their initial. And very strategic listening to the bench there. As soon as those Kraken jammers are getting through, Ballarat's like, no thank you, no points for you, and we're going to call that off. And this should be a great jammer pairings. We have Fleabag up for the Krakens with Freak Show Francis for Ballarat. 2 really, really powerful jammers here. And Kraken's defense taking the front line, looking to sink back. But unfortunately, the last thing you want to do with Freak Show is give them a run up. They love it. But only about half a track behind is Fleabag, who's also successfully through. Beautiful work there. Really smoothly entering the pack, grabbing 4 points, calling it off. We have a team timeout called by the Krakens. This is a good time for both teams to reset, resettle, and catch their breath. And that is the end of our team timeout as both teams retake the track for the last 10 minutes of the first half here. And the jam is on. Corey from Ballarat pushing up the front as She-Wolf works against some strong Ballarat defense. Corey has grabbed lead, but She-Wolf only about half a track behind as both defensive pods fight to get to the front of that pack. Ooh. Ooh, a big jump attempt from Corey there. Is taken to the inside. Has to scoot back to the inside of the track there to call off the jam. So for those who might be new to Derby, as Corey landed out of bounds of the track, they had to then go back to the out of bounds area to call off the jam. Otherwise, they would have been called for a cut track. So it's just very aware jamming to make sure that you know you're inbounds at all times when you are lead, because you don't want to get a penalty when you're lead jammer, or else you lose the ability to be lead. So we have Cyclo jamming for Ballarat, successfully grabbing lead as Tenacious T takes a bit of a stumble, but gets straight back up and working the Ballarat tripod at the front. Really pushing strong. Some offensive assistance there from Pins and Needles for Ballarat, allowing Cyclo to come through on a scoring pass. Tenacious T has also exited on the initial, but called off by Cyclo before either could re-enter for more points. And She-Wolf up against Freak Show Francis. We are seeing jammer pairings come through because it seems both teams are on a 3-jammer rotation, so it's hard work for both teams here. Smart jamming there by Freak Show, pushing out the pack to the front, causing a no-pack play, allowing them to grab lead for Ballarat. Wonderful defense there from Smiles there with the Krakens, forcing Freak Show to the outside and having to reset. Freak Show is through with 4 points as She-Wolf battles both Mad Splatter and Beck from Ballarat. Almost a hop to the outside there by Freak Show, but is being run back by Bonnie. Beautiful jamming there, just really breaking through the arms of the opponents. So one of our penalties here in Derby is a multiplayer. So you cannot be holding on to your teammates and using your arms to stop a jammer or another player from moving through. So if a jammer challenges the link of the arms, they must let go of the arm lock or else they'll be called for a penalty. So that's just very smart jamming there by Freak Show, who has called the jam with 11 more points for Ballarat. And we do have an official review, it looks like, so I might hop into the middle and see what's going on. So a bit of right, welcome back to Derby. So a lot's gone on in that timeout there. So Ballarat had called an official review but did decide to use that as a team timeout. However, Krakens then also called an official review. I do not yet have the details of what that review was for, but they were successful and retained their review. As I say this, Corey has already managed to grab lead for Ballarat with Fleabag hot on their heels as the pack moves pretty fast to escape both jammers. Jam was called there by Corey, but Fleabag was able to steal a single point for the Krakens, which is very valuable to them, bringing them to double digits. Rat Pack sitting on 142 points and Krakens on 10 points with that stolen point there by Fleabag. As we enter the last few jams of this first half, we have She-Wolf for the Krakens up with Freak Show Francis for Ballarat. That's wonderful line coverage there by Smiles and the Krakens defensive crew. But fancy footwork gets Freak Show Francis through again up the inside. She-Wolf has taken off her jammer star, but is still working on a very strong tripod from Ballarat up the front there. Freak Show on a scoring pass, but is struggling to get in front of a very nice tripod there with Smiles and Bonnie from Krakens. Unfortunately, it seems She-Wolf from the Krakens has incurred a cut track penalty, so it is now a power jam for Freak Show and the Ballarat team. The bench and Freak Show here deciding to freeze the jammer. For those not familiar with that term, essentially the lead jammer has called off the jam, keeping the penalised jammer in the box and allowing themselves a power start. So almost the full 30 seconds for Corey to use in Ballarat's favour, if they can make the most of it. Jam is on, and beautiful team offense there by the Rat Pack has allowed Corey to grab a nice quick lead. And the Rat Pack are doing one of my favourite techniques, which is grabbing a goat. So a goat is a defensive player from the opposite team that you hold and defend, so an easy point is guaranteed for your jammer. She-Wolf is released from the penalty box now as Corey is on a second scoring pass. 4 more points for the Rat Pack. Bit of a stumble to the inside there by She-Wolf, but straight back up, determined to work through the Ballarat defence after being run back there by Alice. And the jam is called there. Oh, wonderful team offense there from the Krakens, and they have lead jammer for Tenacious T. However, Cyclo for Ballarat hot on their heels. So while no jammers scored points there, that is an awesome, awesome work there for the Krakens. Really wonderful coordinated team offense, opening up the inside line for Tenacious T to race through and grab a very valuable lead jam status. She-Wolf is back up against Freak Show. as Freak Show powers the way through the pack there, grabbing lead, just absolutely demolishing their way through the middle there. She-Wolf recycled back as Alice is awarded a penalty. Looks like a cut track, the rare blocker cut track. Another penalty has been called on Pins and Needles from Ballarat, so it is now only 2 blockers on the track for Ballarat, as Fleabag has taken the star and is your new jammer. And Freak Show has also ended up in the bin, so we do have a power jam for Fleabag as the pivot turn jammer for the Krakens, and with only 2 blockers to get past. Honestly, the dream scenario for any jammer. Only 2 blockers and I get a power jam? Say less. Oh, good effort there from Alice. Despite being held at the back of the pack by the Kraken's defense, still managing to defend as Fleabag picks up 4 more valuable points for the Krakens. Freak Show released from the bin and just absolutely steaming through the pack. And again, just manages to slip up the inside of the Kraken's defense. Bit of a stumble, but everyone's up and all right. Fleabag still working hard for every point with excellent defense there by Daisy and Alice from Ballarat. And a big spin to finish the first half from Freak Show. Manages to grab 3 points before the end of the jam. And as we move into intermission, we have, with a lovely 15-point jam from Fleabag, bringing the Krakens to 25 points, and 19 points there from Freak Show, bringing the Rat Pack to 176 points as we move into halftime. We'll be back for more derby action in 15 minutes.
Okay, so it is halftime, and those of you who have been with us today know that that means that we have another party game planned. So at the top of the track, we invite participants and spectators to another Minute to Win It game. It is our 10-year anniversary of Statewide Stampede and Team Regional Victoria. Mama Mayhem, the only original skater still on TRV, who has been umpiring on the track this afternoon, played this morning. So at the top of the truck, if you would like to play Junk in the Trunk, come along and have a go. It involves some twerking if you are keen. See you soon.
Tenacious T, though, really working hard on some very lovely Rat Pack defense.
Yeah, star in hand. Great work there by Smiles. Back to give some assistance. Corey picking up the 4 points.
Tenacious T not giving up at all. Star still in hand and really working, trying to pass the star after that pivot. Unsuccessful, however. Did manage to drop the star.
And we're all back up. Corey picking up another 4 points while that was going on. And Tenacious T is free.
Tenacious T getting through with some lovely offensive assistance there by Bonnie.
Vin doing a great job there, catching a goat.
And as we were saying in the first half, Corey just doing some really lovely awareness when jamming, knowing when they've cut the track and hopping immediately back to the inside before calling to avoid any penalties. Really nice, safe jamming there.
Heading out for this jam, we've got She-Wolf and Freak Show Francis.
Freak Show lining up for the trademark run-up. I do love to see it.
I love to see it from the commentator's seat, not so much from the pack. Freak Show Francis picking up lead, but then going off the track and re-entering legally behind the pack. So even though they've got out of the pack twice, it was still counted as the same pass.
Those pesky run-backs, they'll get ya. Looks like She-Wolf there, pushing Ballarat defense to the outside and sneaking up the in to complete that initial pass. And has been consistent with Ballarat from the first half. As soon as the Krakens are getting out on their initial, they're calling off those jams. They're really limiting any points bleed as much as possible.
Alrighty, we've got Cyclo and Tenacious T up jamming this one.
And a fun fact for you, Razor, Cyclo has signed themselves up for 5 games this weekend.
That is a lot of games.
All to help out our Derby friends to make sure we have enough players for all our teams and games to go ahead.
I feel like they might be making the most of the last few games they can squeeze in as a guest. 'Cause
Absolutely.
with 5 in one round, that doesn't leave many more.
Got to really admire Tenacious T here. They are taking a few big knocks, but immediately getting up, and I see a smile on their face every single time.
100%. Harmon Miranda with the catch out the front. Four-point pass for Cyclo.
Looks like we have had, yes, a successful star pass for Smiles now, the new jammer for the Krakens, out on their initial pass.
Cyclo calling that jam before the Krakens can pick up any points.
Really lovely time to call off. Big loud voices from the Ballarat bench telling them all what to do. Love to see it. And we have Corey jamming up against She-Wolf. And looks like we have an official timeout.
Official timeout. Track repair.
Looks like track is almost repaired. Getting the last bit of tape down. It's the same spot that had to be repaired in ModCon. They're just too violent with these lines, you know?
Everyone gets very excited in the first straight.
All right, now the track's repaired. Rolling whistle, we're about to get back underway.
Jam is on. And Corey is lead. She-Wolf really wedged in that tripod of Ballarat blockers. Corey picking up 4 points on that pass.
She-Wolf has removed the star, but is being run back by Alice from Ballarat there.
Yeah, that was a great hit out and recycle.
Once again, great work by Corey, really targeting the arms of the opposition, forcing them to let them through.
Alice again with the hit on She-Wolf.
Alice has really claimed that inside line. No one's getting past.
4 point pass for Corey.
She-Wolf still with star in hand, battling with, looks like Daisy and pins and needles at the back of the Ballarat pack there.
Fleabag jumping to the front to try and be that last line of defence. Corey driving them out of play, and they have to let him go.
She-Wolf looking for their pivot. And Ballarat doing a really wonderful job of keeping She-Wolf away from help. It's great work there by Alice and Birdie in particular.
Fleabag exiting the pack backwards.
Some lovely footwork.
And that is points and call for Corey. Another 4 on that pass. For a 24-point jam.
And that is Ballarat breaking 200. So we have Rat Pack sitting on 222 to the Kraken's 29 points.
Out there, Freak Show Francis and Tenacious T. Lead to Ballarat.
It's been pretty consistent this second half that Ballarat's really been taking the front of the start there and sinking back onto Kraken's defense, trying to squeeze down on that Kraken's tripod. And proving successful.
4 point pass there for Ballarat.
So the star pass has been taken by Smiles of the Krakens, who is run back by the Mad Splatter there, as Freak Show does an absolutely lovely apex jump for 4 more points.
Just a little hop, skip and a jump over that inside line.
Making it look easy.
Nice hit there by Bonnie Jovi. Bit of friendly fire there from the Ballarat jammer on their own blocker. You can't get a penalty for back blocking your own teammate.
Oops. And Smiles working hard to get out on their initial, successfully so. As Freak Show gets some offensive assistance there by Vindicator, 4 more points, and calls the jam.
Looks like we've got Fleabag and Cyclo out to jam, and they both look very happy about it.
Oh, we love Jammer love. If you had more than 5 seconds, I'd ask for a hug, but jam's about to be underway.
And the jam is on. Cyclo making short work of that pack, out with lead.
Just really great work by Ballarat here, just holding their lines, allowing their jammers to push through and open gaps.
Beautiful footwork there by Fleabag. A little spin around that final blocker. Cyclo is through, picking up 4 points and calling the jam.
Looks like She-Wolf back on track for the Krakens, up with Corey for Ballarat. All our jammers having to work extra hard today with team numbers, so just truly super efforts from everyone on track, having to continuously pull double duty.
Corey picking up lead. Not sure what was going on there, but She-Wolf got run back.
She-Wolf got run back, Corey got run back.
Corey's picking up 4 points.
She-Wolf's still working on their initial, it's all happening.
I keep forgetting I can look at a screen and see what's happening on the other side of the track.
So do I.
Both jammers in the pack at the moment.
A really tight, scrummy pack together. All our blockers really getting up close and personal with each other.
Yeah, and both those jammers slipping through on the inside line. Pack speeds up. Corey slices through the centre, picks up all the points, calls the jam. Little high five.
Corey thanking their blockers for some lovely offensive assistance. We love to see some appreciation for all the work our blockers do.
For sure.
And this is special. We have Alice jamming for Ballarat and the Rat Pack up against Tenacious T for the Krakens.
Jam is on. Freak Show Francis out as a blocker, as a pivot. Laid a massive hit on that jammer, but went down themselves. Alice getting in, picking up some points before calling it off. Got a little bit of conferring between the jam ref and the outside ref. And we have a team timeout for yellow, Ballarat.
Lots going on.
It's late in the day. I see colours.
Mate. And we have another game to go after this with
Hooray.
the Banshees taking on Pivot City. So there's more derby action still to come for your Saturday evening.
Yeah, stick around to see how my words deteriorate further during that one. Cyclo using the empty track to practice their edge work.
Said it before and I'll say it again, Cyclo's pretty pink skates are my favourite. Custom made, I believe.
Literally photo shoots happening all over the stadium right now. Our turn.
And pose.
Alrighty, She-Wolf and Cyclo out there, and it looks like both packs are at full strength. And when I say full strength, they are strong.
Oh, yeah. But Cyclo with some trademark toe stop work up the inside has grabbed lead for Ballarat. She-Wolf getting a bit of offensive assistance, but unfortunately was recaptured by Ballarat's defensive blocking pod there.
Cyclo round, just cruising along on one skate, picking up 4 points. And She-Wolf is also out and able to score points. Excellent attention to the bench there by Cyclo, calling the jam before any points are picked up by the Krakens.
Ballarat have been consistently really in tune with their bench all game. Really listening for those loud calls and responding right away. We love to see great synergy between our bench and our players.
Corey and Tenacious T out there. Whoop, official timeout. Track repair. That's some very good track repair there by Buster Hammy.
Very efficient.
It's like she's done it before.
Rolling whistle, we are about to get back underway. Corey and Tenacious T.
Dun dun. Jam is on. And Corey's out. Lead.
What was that, 2 seconds?
Almost.
Making those jam refs work hard today. Tenacious T putting in everything to pushing up against that Ballarat tripod.
Corey popping out the front, 4 points.
Couple of tumbles, everyone's up and okay. Some wonderful blocking out the front by Fleabag, but Corey is managed to get through for 4 more points.
I don't know what Corey was saying up the front there, but it seemed very exasperated.
Even more exasperated because Fleabags immediately stopped defending to go back and grab the star pass.
There's a lot going on right in front of us, and we love it.
So 8 more points there for the Rat Pack. So with 15 minutes left in our second half here, we have the Rat Pack on 272 points, having a wonderful game. Krakens working hard for every point, still on 29. How many more can they get with the last 15 minutes of this match?
Free Show Francis taking a massive run up and slipping down the inside line.
It's like magic watching those toe stops on the inside.
I know they're like a run up, but that was excessive.
I thought they hadn't fielded a jammer for a moment because the run up was so big.
She-Wolf has also emerged from the pack. And Francis picks up the 4 points and calls it.
Trying to keep Krakens to as little points as possible here, the Rat Pack. They're really just not risking it. As soon as the Krakens are getting through, just calling it. Not worth the risk.
Yeah, in a season like this, every point matters, so...
Absolutely. You never know how points differentials are going to come into play as you get closer to final season.
Yeah, absolutely. Freak Show Francis doing double duty back out as a blocker. Corey is the jammer for Ballarat, picking up lead. Tenacious T, jammer for the Krakens with star in hand.
And again, just really targeting the links and the arms between blockers.
And again, Fleabag up the front, just making life difficult. Corey picked up the 4 points, though. Alice running back Tenacious T. I feel like we've seen some of these things before.
We're falling into some patterns here, I think. Corey working through Fleabag at the front of the pack. Once again, 4 more points. Should we just record these sentences and just play them on a
Groundhog
loop?
Day. A little bit of a pile up there. From the way the Ballarat blockers are sticking on that pivot, I would suggest that there's maybe been a star pass. Freak Show Francis, really forgetting the extent of the engagement zone there. Another 4-point pass there, and we have a timeout for the Krakens. Alrighty, Cyclo and She-Wolf.
Oh, almost. She-Wolf dancing up the inside is run back by Ra there.
So close.
So
Cyclo's
close.
out, picking up lead.
Really awesome effort by She-Wolf, though, to get straight back up.
Up and into it again. Kangabanger there doing some offense.
Our 2 packs are really close, tight together as one of our Krakens is sent to the bin, so there is a bit of an advantage there. Cyclo taking advantage of that advantage, 4 points.
And we had a bit of the commentator's curse there. I mentioned Kangabanger and they picked up a penalty. She-Wolf is out, star in hand. She-Wolf getting some good advice from the crowd. Cyclo picks up all 4 points and calls the jam.
And gets a high five from Harmon Miranda for the troubles. We do love to see a bit of love between opposing teams.
100%.
While we do play a full contact, pretty intense sport, we do love each other very much.
And I particularly love Harmon Miranda.
She's the best. Speaking of,
Ooh, do we have a new jammer
we
for Ballarat?
have a new jammer. Birdie, up for Ballarat.
Tenacious T out there for the Krakens.
And runs into Fleabag at the top of the pack there.
Beautiful run back there by Fleabag. Kanga's out of the box and back on track.
And Birdie has grabbed, I don't believe they are not lead. While they
Which
are
means
through.
Lead is not open because we've just had a star pass. This one's going for 2 minutes, folks.
Run it long. Fleabag has taken the star for the Kraken, so while we have no lead jammer,
Hang on, we do have a lead jammer because it just got called.
I am confused.
Okay, I'm confused too. The refs also might be confused. They're having a chat.
Well, either way, we do have a point given to Krakens, bringing them to 30, and 2 points to the Rat Pack, bringing them to 302. scrapping the triple figures.
Official timeout.
Wonder why.
I'm also going to suggest official, not official review, just official timeout.
It's more the moment of shame when Knickerbocker realises he's called it off in error. You just see that.
Oops.
Jam, it's on with Corey and She-Wolf. Got an empty penalty box. Corey picks up lead. Beautiful tripod work there by Ballarat at the rear. Vindicator just hanging in front of them, ready to catch She-Wolf when she emerged. Corey slips around the outside, picks up 4 points.
And Ballarat defense are doing a really wonderful job of every time one of those Kraken's jammers gets to the front, the entire tripod moves to the front and recaptures. It's really good reforming.
Corey picking up another 4 points. We got a cut track call on the Kraken's jammer, despite Harm's best efforts. Unfortunately, the skater had already come back on track in front of the person that had knocked them out before Harm knocked the blocker out. Corey laying a big hit at the front and picking up 4 points.
Got a few in the bin now. We've got the Kraken's jammer and one of their blockers sitting in the bin. So it is a 4-3 pack advantage to Ballarat and a power jam for Corey.
Yeah.
Bit of a tumble there for Smiles, but it's picked up by Beck. We love to see it.
We'll be starting this one as a power jam for Cyclo with She-Wolf standing in the penalty box. We may also have a Kraken's blocker still sitting in the penalty box too. Cyclo with the power jam. Doing some sort of scootering motion up the inside line. Wheels on one foot, toe stop on the other.
It's almost like those scooter races we had at halftime earlier today. Once again, meeting Fleabag at the top of the pack is able to get around 4 points for Ballarat.
She-Wolf is back on track and jamming through the pack. Nice hit there by Pins. Cyclo powering up the outside and picking up 4 points. Star pass to Fleabag for the Krakens. Cyclo picks up another 4-point pass.
Fleabag's having a wonderful game, has taken up multiple star passes.
And is that last line of defence so often.
Is having a really great game.
I'm a fan.
Big fan. Few more track repairs as we get ready for the next jam as we enter the last 7.5 minutes of our match today. Official timeout has been called, I think, while we just finish these last few track repairs. We do have Tenacious T up on the jam line, and about a quarter track behind, we have Freak Show Francis ready for the big run-up. Rolling whistle has been called and the jam is on.
That run-up by Freak Show Francis unfortunately had to get past their own pack first before making contact with the other. She's got caught up pretty well by the Krakens up there. But with a little spin, they are out with lead.
And Tenacious T doing a really good job listening for that lead jammer call, immediately removing the star, giving themselves some options. Ooh, big tumble, but a big smile. Everyone's all right.
Both jammers being recycled. Vindicator heading to the penalty box. Naughty Vin.
Smiles, Harmon, and can't quite see, but the 0-8 for Krakens doing a really wonderful job holding Freak Show as long as they did. Freak Show is through for 4 more points, however.
Just cruising around. Just the most beautiful pivot, spin, leap thing around the inside line there.
Just having fun with it now.
Smiles taking the star. That's a real fast pack right now.
Freak
Oh.
Show taking the whip as well.
Harm with just enough of a hit to knock Freak Show to the inside and have them call it before they picked up all the points on that pass. Official timeout.
Official timeout as we have another new jammer. Oh, I believe I saw Pins jamming the first half today. I haven't seen Pins jam in a little while. Pins and Needles up for Ballarat.
We almost had some inadvertent karaoke then, because I had not muted my mic like I thought I had.
We did spare you all from that, as I was also about to join in.
Pins and She-Wolf out there jamming. Beautiful tripod work by both teams. Neither of them opting to send some offense, just leaving those jammers to do it on their own.
We do have one Ballarat blocker in the bin, so it is just that tripod there working hard.
She-Wolf picking up lead and the crowd goes wild.
Awesome work there by She-Wolf for the Krakens. Pins still working on their initial at the front of that pack.
And the Mad Splatter returns to the track for Ballarat. Goes up there to do some offense. Fleabag with the run back. Ballarat's helmet cover is on the ground, but Pins has retrieved it.
And successfully passed the star to Alice from Ballarat, who escapes on their initial.
She-Wolf round, picking up 4 points for the Krakens.
Looks
Nice
like
fast pack. And the jam is cold.
And that is a super valuable, super awesome 4 points there for the Krakens and held the Rat Pack scoreless in that jam. Awesome work.
Hooray. Tenacious T and Corey out jamming this one. Both packs at full strength, I think.
Well, yes, we do have a lovely empty penalty box.
Harm with perfect timing, making it over the jam line before that whistle blows. Corey picking up lead. Nice hit there by Beck. Vindicator with the offense. Corey picking up the 4 points.
Tenacious T has removed the star, fighting at the back there with Beck and the Mad Splatter, with that tripod cemented by Ra. Corey works on pushing out that Kraken's defense and grabbing themselves 4 more points.
Corey and Harm, quick little battle at the front. We've had a star pass to Smiles.
Oh, lovely footwork there by Smiles on the outside.
Beautiful little spin there. Corey picking up 4 points. Smiles picking up 4 points. It's a point frenzy. That is 3 points for the Rat Pack on that pass.
So a really great 19-point jam there for Corey and the Rat Pack. So with just a minute 30 left to go, we'll have She-Wolf taking the track for the Krakens up with Freak Show Francis.
Jam is on. The Banshees bench needing to stay in the, Kraken's bench needing to stay in the middle of the track because they did not get back out before the jam started.
And a big run back by Fleabag, taken to the outside and then also taken and run back to the inside by the Kraken's defense. Gives a big hit on the way through.
Yeah, DK on the receiving end of that, but they're back up and in it. Freak Show Francis with lead jammer. Star pass to Fleabag.
There was an attempted apex jump there by Freak Show. Didn't quite make it in bounds, though.
On the second attempt, though, just ran through like no one's business.
4 points and call. Thank you very much. We are lining up for one more.
And that's it. No more jams.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get one more, guys.
No, period clock has expired.
But a big hug there by Tenacious T and Corey.
Nice little chats for everyone. We'll wait for that rolling whistle to tell us that it is over. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I've been Razorback.
I'm Kilbo Baggins.
Stick around for the next game.